Hey going guys, this is just going to be a quick video on something that I've mentioned about doing a hot water system or solar hot system, so to speak, for the top of the car. Now, my first attempt, I'll show you my first attempt, was them. 3 of them put together, and you'd think I'd have about 60 litres. However, I'll go back to them, sorry. Standing upright, they're pretty good. You see where that bung is? So I was having them laying down that way. So I lost half the capacity before I even really got to use it. So now I'm sort of trying to work out, I don't want to throw them away, I don't want to get rid of them, but I'm struggling to find a use for them. One of them I can't, it's pretty well stuffed because I've drilled a hole in the side of it so I could connect it to another one. The other two are pretty well unmodified apart from just the black paint. Now, the other second option was to use with some poly pipe, and I kind of had an idea of how I wanted it to look. Not sure about the size, but that was going to be the second option. That ended up being the best option. So I'll show you what it is, I'll show you the size, I'll show you it, go through the size, materials, costing, things like that. So there it is. It's made out of 150mm diameter pipe, poly pipe. I've used all pressure rated glue and primer on it, and it's approximately 3 1-meter sections. It's actually a little bit over, so because being this bit was a spare, I actually stuffed up with one I made. The original bit I had here was too short, so this bit here actually was gonna hit about here. So I ended up having to effectively get a blowtorch out. I cut it off in the middle with a saw, get a blowtorch out, get it to where it was really soft, so the glue would melt, and I had to start again. Luckily, I had this bit left over from a previous project that I no longer use. It was for fishing rod holder in the back of my ute, which I've previously shown. I no longer use because it creates it's a more cramped area in an already tight spot. Yeah, so I can work around that now. But this is actually an offcut, so it actually worked in quite well. So through materials, without the stuff up that I made, so material like the belt, everything you see, the glue, the everything. This tap here, it's like a brass tap, simple, and I've gone with this hose connection here because the connector on the little the little pump that I got from Amazon actually has a hose connection like that, so I've gone for that. What I've also done is I've pinched one of my dad's garden sprays as a vent. Now, I'm going to put one of these into my 20-litre water jerry can that's already on the ute, because what I'm finding is I've got to fill it up. I'm filling it up at the top, but I can't have the bottom open for obvious reasons, and it creates pressure. You got to, you fill it up a little bit, stop it, and you've got to muck about. This will stop that, obviously. So from all the parts, all the bits and pieces, what you see there is about $400, plus what I've bought previously, which I wouldn't have needed to buy as much, but you've got straps, some hardware in there. I think that wasn't much, so you could have gotten away with it. I pretty well could get away with half of what's in there now. So yeah, give or take $400. This holds approximately 53 litres. I think probably a little bit more than that because I've used just over 3 metres, and that's going off 3 metres of 150mm pipe. I googled it and it said approximately 53.01 litres. So, but considering that, yeah, you've got these elbows, got 4 of them in total. You've also got this bit extra here, where I would have ended up using this would have ended up approximately about here if I'd have used just 3 1 metre sections and then cut the middle one down. So, like I said, I'm estimating between 53 and 60. Yeah, so it's not an exact thing, but it's still quite a bit. That system with the jerry cans, I would have actually had 60 litres, guaranteed. Well, but with it laying down, I would have lost half, so I would have only ended up with 30 litres and still had 30 litres of unusable water up top. So, yeah, didn't realise that until I started putting it together. So, yeah, basically, that's it. It's a fairly simple design. The design constraints I had was I can't put, like a lot of people just put like a single length of poly pipe on the side, paint it black, and off they go. I can't do that because I've got an awning each side. And I've obviously done that I've gone through those reasons in the previous video. But overall, so I was planning on doing it, putting it on tonight, but unfortunately, as you can see in sunny Perth, it's raining and it's dark at 6 o'clock at night. So unfortunately, not going to happen. But yeah, pretty happy with it. All I've got to do now is, yeah, just like I said, strap it down and go from there, and then install the little pump. Now, I don't think I've shown this. You can get this from Amazon. I think this and something else cost me like 45, 50 bucks. So I don't think this was exactly, I think this is like $25, $30. But it's a little 12 volt pump that runs off the cigarette lighter. That's the pump there. Sorry. That's the pump there. And you plug it in the bottom there. And I'll show you the other bit. There you go. Plugs into your cigarette lighter. It does work. Comes with one of these, which I will be swapping this out for one of the sprayer heads. And there's your other hose. So I hope you get some sort of inspiration, or if you're trying to work out how to set yours up with a tighter space, a design like this may help. It's effectively a 3 metre, like I said, 3 metre length of poly pipe, and that's actually longer than I could have in one section put on the side of the ute, on the side of the tradie rack. So I've actually ended up pretty well off. And the good thing is where this weight's going to be, it's actually going to be central, unlike the rooftop tent, which unfortunately, due to the design constraints that I've had to work with on my ute, that's had to go on the back. So, yeah, all right. Well, hopefully, one of you guys watching can get some sort of inspiration out of it. All right, thanks.